Speed Circulation. Inaanyayahan po lahat na tumayo pansamantala para sa opening prayer. To be led by Pastor Wendell Alayaw.
Tayo po ay sumadalin lumukot at tumalangin. Nakilang Diyos na makapangyarihan sa lahat. Una po, Panginoon, sa umagang ito ay magpapasalamat po kami sapagkat kami po ay ibinangon niyo po sa aming mga higaan at dinala niyo po kami sa dakong ito. Taglay pa rin po ang buhay at kalakasan na ipinapahiram niyo po sa amin. Ama, sa umaga po ito ay magpapasalamat po kami sa pagkakataong ito na magkakaroon po ng pag-uusap, pagpupulong, Panginoon, kung saan dinala niyo po rito ang mga lalaki at mga babae na inyong pinili na nagtataguyod po, Panginoon, ng malawakang pagbabago sa bansang ito. Alam po namin, Panginoon, na batid po ninyo kung ano po ang nangyayari sa aming bansa. Dalangin po namin, Panginoon, kaawaan niyo po kami, tulungan niyo po kami, Panginoon, na maging matagumpay ang layunin ng mga taong nandito po, Panginoon. Ibigay niyo po sa amin yung kalakasan at yung katalinuhan na kakailanganin, Panginoon, para sa ikatatagumpay ng layunin ng grupong ito, Panginoon. Ama, ang mga tao na pinili niyo para pangunahan ang pagbabagong ito, nawa po, Panginoon, ay matago po sila sa likuran ang inyong kapurihan, Panginoon. Usap upang sa gayon, Panginoon, ay hindi po sila makita ng mga tao. Pagpos kayo po ang maitaas at makita ng mga tao upang maramdaman po nila at makita nila, Panginoon, na kayo na po ang kumikilos para po sa pagbabagong ito. Ama, ito po yung aming dalangin sa pangalan ng iyong anak na si Kristo Jesus. Amen.
Please remain standing for the national anthem. Kagay Sabio.
Bayang maliw, katas ng silanganan, hanap ng puso, sa dilim mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tulad ka ng magiting, sa manlulubi, di ka masisilim, sa garat bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong mukha, may nilagang tula at awit sa pagnayang minamahal, ang isang matawat mo'y tagumpay na nanginginig, ang bituin at araw niyang kailang pangay mag-iilig. Lupa ng araw at ating magsinda, buhay lagi sa piling mo. Ang ligaya dapat may makaapi, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas! Mabuhay!
Okay, pwede na po tayo mo po. We would like to acknowledge the presence of our esteemed guest for this press conference, Mr. Ricardo Benson. Attorney Glenn Chong. Mr. Johnny Chang. Jude Simon. Attorney Jose Malbag Villegas. Mr. Buboy Sihupo. Si Attorney Ed Cabalu from Bangsamoro Transformation Council. Morning, sir. Toti Casillo from Philippine Computer Society. si Nick Alman. Kasama po natin. Ang first speaker po natin for the coalition is Mr. Manny Lopez from Ibigman. Mr. Tim San Diego, Chairman of MAD. Mr. Rusty Deliso from San Lakas. AJ Villena. Mamaya na lang po kung may nakalimutan ako. Okay, let's start now. To begin with, for the opening poem, si kasamang Buboy si Hugo, naghanda siya ng isang poem para sa atin. Pakinggan po natin.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat.
Sir, kayo po kayo.
Ito po ay tulak sa bayan. Oras na. Gising na ang bayan. Gising na ang bayan. Inista ang taong bayan. Tama na, sobra na, sigaw ng mga kababayan. Ano pa ang hinihintay? Kulang pa ba ang mga namatay? Nagwaldas ng kwarta, mga sanggano ng gobyerno. Pidat at dat, minaobrang pulidat ninyo. Dahas, walang awak. Ninakaw ng mga swapang na demonyo. Kinuwang gatas mula sa bibig ng mga sanggol. Kaya pa ba nating tiisin ang kanilang habulgol? Hindi ba dapat na nating ipagtanggol? Puro kapritso, magtatako na naman ang kwarta. Sa usapang walang kwenta, payag pa ba tayo na muling may benta? Pagpapagos na ang tubig sa gawain ng dating tao, hagipin ang baha sa ating bayan ay magpakatotoo. Tanggalin ang pangalayag ng ating buhay na nakatapos sa kalungkutan, pinagpis sa patay. Sa ganitong isang dagat na sa ating ngayon ay umapaw, itakwil ang kasalukuyang mga garapal na halimaw na sobra-sobra na ang mga baho na umaaling asaw. Wala akong pagtingin sa taong api, laro-laruan lang ang trato sa atin, hindi kakampi. Tama ba ang pagdamutan ang mga biktima ng sakuna? Ang mga walang awa, pinagsupladuhan si Yolanda. Atin pong dinalangin na sana pwede pa silang magbago. Subalit klaro-klaro na hindi na babago pa ang mga sanggano. Itanong muli sa sariling konsyensya, tayo ba ay maghihintay sa ating pagpasya? Umigilemang na ang mga kampana ng simbahan. Binapaspasan na tayo gula sa palitan. Kawal ay wala ng tiwala sa karambola. Sila mga binababoy na mga bangkay na iiwanan. All hell will break loose paghalo ng balat sa tiyalupan. Diyos po namin at Mama Maria, kami ay inyong basbasan. Ipagpala po ang sustentong kakalabasan. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Buboy. Pwede po ba sabay-sabay lang tayo isang beses lang sumigaw na mabuhay ang Pilipinas? Isa, dalawa, tatlo. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas! Salamat. Ngayon po, pakinggan po natin si Mr. Manny Lopez, unang tagapagsalita ng coalition. Mr. Lopez.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Unang-una po, nagpapasalamat ako sa ating mga kasamahan dito sa koalisyon, sa ating mga kaibigan sa media, at kay Mr. Johnny Chang for hosting this morning's event. Ang EDSA Coalition po ay isang malaki. It's a broad-based coalition of church, civic, and people's organizations. Nung po nag-umpisa kami, konting-konti lang po, but now we are over 60 organizations. And ang ating pong unang event or initiative na gagawin itong Pebrero, this Sunday, February 22, at high noon, is I must say, is all systems go. Tuloy-tuloy na po ito. The initiative is supported by a broad and fast-growing alliance of church, civil society, people's organizations, and concerned citizens. The EDSA 2022 Coalition is an all-inclusive, reasonably purist, and progressive organization. We are committed to effect real change and reform. Love for country and the advancement of the national interest and the people's welfare is our unifying factor. Given the flawed system of governance and depreciated public trust in the leadership structures of our challenged republic, the coalition is committed to pursue regime and system change. But we will pursue this through peaceful and orderly means. We shall undertake revolutionary reforms should we be successful in this endeavor. Parallel events are being organized nationwide, including a motorcade that will start in Ayala Avenue in Makati on that same day at 7 o'clock in the morning. There are also activities in other cities and municipalities simultaneously calling for the resignation or stepping down of President Aquino and his cabinet. The People's Transformation Government is an ongoing process. And I'm happy to inform you that we have been growing very fast while maintaining the unity and cohesiveness of an organization that will effect the real change and reforms that we promised to our people in EDSA 1. I will now call on the members of the coalition to discuss or share with you our ideas and our thoughts on the three calls of the EDSA 2022 Coalition. May I request Rusty Deriso of San Lapas to discuss the first call.
Good morning to our friends from the media. I'll read the first call of the EDSA 2022 Coalition. President Benigno Aquino III must step down for numerous decisions and policy errors with serious national repercussions, such as the Luneta crisis, Lahat Datu crisis, the Zamboanga siege, the MRT-LRT scandal, rice and food crisis, energy crisis, Sendong, Pablo, and Yolanda disaster mismanagements, and recently the Mama Sapano massacre, among others. The Aquino administration has likewise institutionalized corruption through the illegal use of DAP, Disbursement Acceleration Program, and the PDAP, and the application of selective justice. Finally, the mental issue afflicting the president, as confirmed by medical diagnosis, is a clear and present danger to the state.
Thank you, Rusty. May we request Mr. Ato Paglinawan to discuss to you or
Good morning to all. If you've been monitoring media, the Pinay scare following a regime change is now the main topic. We're for the support of an establishment of a people's transition government. But the mainstream media is now pouring all it can into scaring people about the succession. I will defer the discussion of the legitimacy of this regime and why not a single public official who is supposed to be elected is supposed to be sitting or occupying their current positions to the experts we have about Comelec. But this is to say that the People's Transition Government, composed of highly respected, competent, and honest leaders on a temporary caretaker capacity until a new set of leaders are duly elected in the national elections, where an election will be called to be clean, honest, and transparent, and far from the brilliantest formula of smart magic, hocus pocus, is called. What is direly lacking in the present regime is executive wisdom, and the national disasters, both man-made and the response of the present government to natural disasters, have proven that there seems to be an absence of wisdom in this regime. The PTG is envisioned as the fulfillment of the sovereign will of the people, as enshrined in the 1987 Constitution, and the strict implementation of the rule of law on accountability of public officials. And if there will be any succession, it will have to conform to the qualifying standards of ethical leadership as demanded by the people. As we speak, Malacanang is saying and twisting the law by saying that the armed forces of the Philippines is committed to protect the head of state. Liar, liar, liar. The Constitution provides that the armed forces of the Philippines is mandated to protect the people and the state. And if I may add, in my humble opinion, to decapitate the head of state if this head of state no longer pursues the common good of the people. So, we cannot stand to this misinformation. We cannot stand for any vacillation on the part of the leaders of this country to decisively, deliberately, as part of the people of this republic, to take this republic into his hands, being the absolute sovereign, and to put in place a government that will truly reflect the principles of democracy and the national sentiments of the people, and protect the four corners of our society in the highest level of national security and not sell it out to the foreigners. These are the bottom lines of the People's Transition Government. I would like to repeat, the word transition is key. But they will be the ones who will craft the rule of succession. Why? Because if there was anybody who locked out a graceful exit for the present president, it is he himself and his appointed corporate chairman who insists on a system that has been defaulted in 2010 and defaulted in 2013. So there is no way out. We have a regime now that is imploding and has no way out. And that means the chant is very simple: implosion, boom, boom, out you go. Please step down.
Thank you, Mr. Ado. Thank you. The third call of the coalition will be delivered and read by Attorney Mel Mandamo.
Good morning, Dr. Recapitulating the first call being to step down, the second call being the establishment of People's Transition Government. The third call is to effect real change and reform to correct the systematic flaws in governance, particularly political, electoral, and public finance management reforms. This requires immediate resolution to level the political playing field in 2016 and insulate public funds from corrupt practices and optimize its use, and among other reform measures.
Thank you, Attorney Mel. The next speaker for the coalition is Mr. Tig San Diego.
Magandang umaga po. Ako'y si Tig San Diego na miyembro nitong coalition na ito. Ako po'y gusto lang magpapaalala sa sambayanan dahil sa mga nakaraang panahon ay napakaraming mga grupo o mga tao, mga politiko, mga kung ano-anong agenda na gustong gawin yung ating gusto rin. Ngunit ang nangyayari dito, katulad po ng grupo nila Piping Cuanco, Tigtig Cuanco, at Gonzales, ay hindi po namin kasama yun. Pero nag-claim sila na sila ang mag-lead ng people power. Ito po ang people power, ito ang karamdaman ng sambayanan. At dito po sa EDSA 2-2250, ay isa po dito na forma yan. Binubuo po ng maraming samahan to, kasama na ang MAD, kasama na ang CCW, ang IPIRMA at iba pa. Gusto ko lang linawin yun. Dahil nagkakaroon ng duda o ng confusion sa press, lalo na sa press, sapagkat yung amin pong council na pinapropose ay tinatawag namin transition, hindi po transformation. Ito po mga pinamumunuan ng ating mga nakaraang mga trapo ay transformation. Gusto ko lang malinaw yun. Wala akong masama na kami ay magsama-sama. Talagang yan ang ating hiling ng bayan. Ngunit sabi nga ni ating kaibigan dito si Bani, ay ito po grupo to ay purist. Kaya let no one claim to lead the EDSA 2-2250 people power demonstration. We do not recognize any leader in this exercise. Lato tayo. There is no leader. This exercise is purely for for regime and system change by peaceful means. Dahil siya rin po magka-transform into the elections of 2016. Kaya po hindi natin babaliin yung provision ng Konstitusyon tungkol sa transition. Pero ang amin ang gustong ipaalala sa tao dahil ito malaking mass movement ito ay beware of a takeover. Meron ng mga grupo dyan na nagtatangkang sa bawat ng mga ibang nagtatrabaho nito sa isang corpus lang. Kaya ang aming panawagan, beware of the takeover, lalo na po yung mga grupo na mga trapo, yung po mga politiko na siyang pumapasok sa mga ganitong pulong para sila rin ay pagdating ng panahon ay makabalik sa kanilang pwesto. Kaya po makikita nyo rito kami iwas sa mga personalidad na ganito sapagkat ika nga ni Manny, ito po ay purist. Pure civilian. Yan po ang aking gustong paalala sa inyo. At madagdagan ko lang po na inaayaya namin kayong dumalo sa gagawing caravan na pagsisimulan ng CCW ni Atty. Malvar Villegas. Diyan rin po yung mga ibang mga sanay na mga netizens, mga grupo. Pagsisimula po tayo ng alas 6 hanggang tayo umabot sa EDSA ng alas 12 para sa misa. Kaya po mga sa media, kung maaari lang po ay tulungan tayo na imbes na noise barrage, tayo po ay magpapakalat na tatawagin natin ay sakto alas 12. Sakto alas 12, inaanyayahan ho natin lahat ng tao na huminto sa kanilang ginawa sa isang minuto lang. Ipagdasal natin yung dapat natin ipagdasal, yung mga gas-gas na namatay natin, mga heroes na 44, lahat po para ipagdasal natin itong bayan nito. Kung kayo ay taxi driver, kung kayo ay jeepney driver, huminto lang kayo ng isang minuto. Gitna kung nasaan man kayo. And so on and so forth. Yan din po panawagan namin sa mga manggagawa. Huminto lang kayo isang minuto upang kayo ay makidamay sa ating ninaranasan ngayon, mga kababayan. Salamat po.
Salamat, Mr. Santiago. Kindly recognize the presence of one of our guests, Mr. Aldi Tanghol. Please stand up, sir. Good morning, welcome. And also, we're lucky to have as also as one of our guests, Yusek Ted Herbosa of the OH. Please stand up, sir. And also, meron tayong foreign observer, si Ambassador Donel. This is stand up, sir. Good morning. May isa pa akong request before we proceed. Pwede mag-chant tayo ulit. The chant will go like this. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas, ibagsak ang mga trapo. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas, ibagsak ang mga trapo. Thank you. The next speaker who will give a statement of support and his advocacy, kilala na natin siya lahat, si Mr. Ricardo Penson.
Thank you. Unang-una, gusto ko sana ipaalam sa inyo na doon sa SAP 44, meron tayo mga kapatid din na dalawang sundalo o kapulisan na Muslim. Practically, yung ginawa doon sa strike force na yun, yung blocking force, kung dalawa yung Muslim doon na kasama natin, ganun din ang national average natin with the Muslims. So, those are our brothers. And before we start, I'd like to acknowledge Ed Caballo, former spokesman of the MILF, who's here with us. and Brother Gustals, who's also with us here. They are supportive of us, and just like the national average, we welcome you and Gustals as our brothers. We are all Filipinos here. That is just to clear the air, because the main reason that we are having problems in Mindanao is because we, as a nation, has failed to make them feel that they are brother Filipinos as well. Itong ating pulong-pulong ngayon ay para hingin ang pagbaba ng mga trapo, because they have perfected the art of thievery, the art of deception. Particularly the Aquino administration. This is one administration that is founded on two major things alone: deception and perception. That is why it is high time that we, as citizens and taxpayers of this land, act and start to direct the future of our nation. Ang Alliance for Truth, Integrity, and Nationalism, composed of 17 different people's organizations and civil societies, support this move for the 2-22-15 movement. We are with you, we are with the Filipino people all the way. We demand truth, we demand integrity from our leaders. And as a nation, it is high time we act as one and be nationalistic in our approach for the common good. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. Penson. Now, let's hear some statements from Atty. Malbag Villegas, the chairman of CCW. Sir?
As previously stated by Mr. Tim Sandeco, the Citizens Crime Watch and the movement against dynasty is leading this motorcade caravan on Sunday towards EDSA. Why is Citizens Crime Watch deeply involved in this movement? Because Citizens Crime Watch is the biggest anti-crime organization in the country. And I would like to look at the present government as the biggest criminal syndicate ever established in our country. Practically all the things that are being done by the government are criminal in nature. So I decided, together with the man, to lead this caravan to show that we are against criminals in government, and they should all face trial in the future as criminals and be placed accordingly to where they belong. They should all be in the beginning. I dare say that although we have a political party, the Partido ng Manggagawa at Magsasaka, formerly the Labi ng Manggagawa, of which Mr. Penson and myself previously led with the former Defense Secretary Rene de Villa, known as the Reforma Elder. But more than anything else, I need to see people like what we have now, who are the non-government society leaders and not the political leaders. Gawa lang ang katotohanan po, bagamat meron tayong partido, inihahanda lang natin ito pag bumaksak na itong gobyerno nito. At pagka nagkaroon na ng eleksyon, the partido na magagawa at magsasaka would want to install a labor government in the Philippines, just like most of the governments in Europe. We would like to see the labor and the present sector to finally be at the helm of government instead of just 1% of the elite who has been ruling this country. Ang katotohanan, tama po ang sinabi ni Mr. Santiago na ang problema natin dito ngayon ay political dynasty which were installed by our colonial master. When the Spaniard conquered the Philippines some 500 years ago, they saw to it that political dynasty will be their vehicle towards continuous rule in this country. Nung dumating po ang Amerikano, after my grandfather, General Miguel Malvar, surrendered as the last general to surrender during the Philippine-American War after having caused 40,000 American casualties, and where some 500,000 to 1 million Filipinos were massacred by the Americans. The Americans followed suit the practice of developing political dynasty. But not contented with that, they have invented the showbiz dynasty. Sa madaling salita po, they develop showbiz personalities to be able to control our political system. Kaya po dun sa Senado na kami pong dalawa ni Mr. Benson failed to be elected in the past. Makikita po ninyo kung sino ang mga na-elect. Nandun po si Captain Barbell, si Lone Ranger, si Lastic Man, si Jumping Jack, at saka si Pinocchio. At kami po sa Batangas ay nasakot din ng showbiz dynasty sapagkat ang gobernador po namin doon ay si Darga. At hindi po lalayo na ang binipick up ni Pinoy is another showbiz personality. At yung pong si Dingdong Dantes na kanyang paborito, balita ko po, yun ang isinusunod niya na maging leader ng ating bansa. Kaya pati na itong si Senator Escudero has adopted the showbiz approach by showing to the people that he's married to a showbiz personality. Kaya yan pong Hollywood mentality na ginagamit ngayon ng Amerikano para sakupin ang mga mangmang na Pilipino ay yan din po ang ginagawa ni Pinoy. At saka si Mar Rojas ay kinuha na rin si Corina Sanchez. Kaya napansin ninyo na ito pong si Pinoy, lahat ng kanyang Oplan Exodus, Oplan Transformer, at iba pa pong Wolverine ay lahat ay showbiz approach na nakuha niya habang naglalaro siya ng computer doon sa kanyang pamangkin na anak ni Chris. Kaya ang nakita niya dito sa mga sub-operator ay parang nakikita niya sa computer, ito ang mga sundalo. Kumatiklo, never mind. Ganyan talaga ang computer game. So, ano po nangyari? May mga Amerikanong namatay sapagkat ito po ay pakana ng kano. At alam po naman natin, si Pinoy ay tuta ng kano. Wala naman naging presidente sa Pilipinas na hindi tuta ng kano. Kaya, ipinagmamalaki ko po ngayon na yan po ang aking adikain na ipalaala sa lahat bilang direct descendants of the national hero who fought the Americans na hindi pa po tapos ang revolusyon. Sapagkat hanggang ang kabuhayan ng Pilipino ay nasa kamay ng dayuhang kano, hindi po tayo makakaraya sa ating mga dinadaig sa ngayon. Kaya ito po ay isang panawagan sa inyo pong kapaglingkod na kung gusto nating magkameron ng caretaker government, gawin po nating mga taga-pangasiwa ang isang advisory council headed by Emeritus Archbishop Ricardo Cardinal Vidal, Archbishop Fernando Capalla, and Archbishop Ramon Arguelles. Yan po dapat ang advisory council ng isang transition government because the religious leader will do no wrong. You saw it during the visit of Pope Francis. Marami pong salamat.
Thank you, Attorney Villegas. One of the hot issues being raised against the government is in the area of election. We're lucky we have experts in elections today. So let us hear from them. Siguro si Attorney Glenn Chong.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. In the main attempts of this administration to deflect the issues, the very significant issues affecting them, dalawa po yung sagot nila. Unang-una, sinong papalit? And sinagot na po ng mga kasama natin dito, yung People's Transition Government. But I would like to dwell on the second one. Bakit hindi na lang tayo mag-antay? May eleksyon naman sa 2016. This is a very significant answer on their part. But we would like to dispute that kasi pinipilit nga ng COMELEC na PICOS pa rin ang gagamitin sa 2016 elections. As a matter of fact, 2 days ago, the Integrated Bar of the Philippines filed an action with the Supreme Court precisely questioning yung award without bidding. Kasi sa tingin mo namin, itong 268.8 million na in-award ni Brillantes without bidding is a precursor contract. Pag binigay yan, tuloy-tuloy na yan. Smartmatic pa rin po. And as of this time, we're still verifying kasi dito sa Pilipinas, noong 2013, ang pattern ho natin is 60-30-10. I was informed that there was also one in Portugal, the pattern is 49-50. We will still verify that, and once it's verified, we will release it also to the media. Nasa Portugal, may pattern din silang 49-50, and that's supposedly also conducted by Smartmatic. But beyond that, I would just like to give an update ng February 5 hearing namin sa Senate. Napakita ho namin sa projector na nagbago nga yung file names ng mga ballot images. Ang original file name ganito, random numbers. Nung pinakita sa amin yung 383 clustered precincts, and I have pictures of 13 laptops na inopen, naging sequential ang file names ng mga ballot images. So ibig sabihin, nagbago ang ballot images. Nung tinanong mo ni Coco Pimentel, ang sagot ng COMELEC, inamin nila, inayos namin ang ballot images. We rearrange the ballot images, the ordering. Sumagot naman si Cesar Flores, hindi pwedeng i-rearrange ang ballots. Ngayon, sino ang nagsasalita ng totoo? Sinabi ni COMELEC, ni-rearrange namin. Sinabi ni Smartmatic, no, hindi pwedeng i-rearrange. So one thing is clear, COMELEC can manipulate the ballot images. As a matter of fact, I refer the media to the transcript of stenographic notes noong February 5 hearing ng JCOC, pages 48 to 49. Inamin ng COMELEC that there is a software that can erase the digital lines. And nung tinanong siya ni Coco Pimentel, if that was Robert Lim, if you have a software that can erase the digital line, can it also erase the shade of the voter? Ang sagot ni Robert Lim, posibleng ho. And we are requiring that that particular software be included in the 23,000 PICOs that they're going to buy this year. So ngayon, we already have a software that can erase the shade of the voter. Eh di mas madali na ho yung daya because that is already admitted and it's on record. Pages 48 to 49 of the transcript of stenographic notes. Na sinabi nila, there's a software that can erase the digital lines and even the shade of the voter. So ano hong habol natin? What kind of elections will we have in 2016? Kaya nga ho, kung election lang ang pag-uusapan, ordinarily it will provide the public a redress of our grievances. Ito na, hindi na natin ibuboto yung Liberal Party kung sino yung kandidato nila sa 2016. Pag anong laban natin sa Picos? Kung ganito yung eleksyon, pwede naman palang burahin ang siya. This makes the election in 2016 very alarming that every one of us must stand together and fight this imposition. Kasi nga, ina-award yung Picos. And by the way, the Picos will cost us 20 billion pesos in 2016. Yung manual election mo, 5 billion lang mo yun. In 2016 elections will cost us 4 times more. Wala naman tayong kasiguruhan because the counting is simply done by the machine and we are made to believe on the numbers it turns out. Kaya itong panawagan ngayon is very timely because wala kayong exit mechanism in 2016. So yung dalawang issue na pinapalaganap ng administrasyon to fight precisely, to counter the moves for him to step down can be answered this way. Merong People's Transition Government, sagot doon sa sinong ipapalit. And we are using our religious leaders to provide a moral compass. Pangalawa, wala tayong exit mechanism in 2016. Kasi yung election nga natin, and little by little, we're able to prove in the Senate na yun nga, lumalabas. By the way, noong sa February 5 hearing, I walked out kasi ayaw nilang ipakita sa projector yung evidence eh. But eventually, they called me back. Noon, pinakita ko na. In the next hearing, we will prove. Ito, very significant ito. The tabulated results, I believe it's for national positions. Nakita na ito ni Toti, di ba? I presented this in the school sa Asian Pacific College. It appears that the transmission from the Picos papuntang munisipyo is not the one actually tabulated. Because kung titignan mo yung records, ang result is from the laptop itself. Kaya yun mo ang update na bibigay namin and this makes this call very important. At kailangan mo nating suportahan ang ganitong movement because otherwise kung hindi, talo po tayo lahat. Maraming salamat.
Salamat, Attorney Glenn. Toti, you might want to add some more.
Good morning. Just a quick background. Our organization, the Philippine Society, was established in 1967. When at that time, the Philippines was leading among the Southeast Asian countries in terms of the professionals. Hello? Yeah, sorry. We are an apolitical and non-partisan organization. Our thrust is we promote the advancement of our profession and ethical practice in our conduct. And we had participated in the 1986 elections. There was a representative of the Philippine Society with the COMELEC. If you remember, there was this process where they had this PICC that was encoding the numbers. And there was another one with the group presided by Gus Lagman, who's NAMPRED. Our thrust is just to help. As I've said, we're not apolitical and non-partisan. Now, to the present time, we suggested to have digital signature. Digital signature. Ang problema, kasi nakatago ito sa Batas Pambansa 8881 at sa Republic Act 1969 na pag transmit mo yung resulta nung gibinilan ng makina, ang magpapataguyod na ito bilang na ito ay tama ay yung digital signature na naka-issue doon sa Board of Election Inspector, hindi sa makina. Kaya nga kung ina-transmit ng data mula doon sa Picos hanggang doon sa Canvassing Center, ang nagpapatunay na tama ang bilang ng mga boto na yun ay mismo yung digital signature na naka-issue sa BI. Ang ginawa ng Sparkmatic sa COMELEC, tinanggal na nila yung digital signature, hinayaan nila yung makina ang magtataguyod na tama daw yung bilang. Kaya nga, nung umabot na tayo dito doon sa resulta ng 2010, nung minomonitor namin yung resulta, nakita namin ang lamang ni dating Presidente Estrada, humahabol mula 1.8 million to 1.4 million bago ng ating gabi, nagkaroon ng news blackout yung website ng COMELEC, makaraan ng 1 oras, 2 oras. Ito rin, dating chairman si Melo ay nagpapahayag na ang lamang ng presidente ay 5 milyon. malaman-laman din namin, makaraan ng eleksyon, na siya, may mga kulang-kulang na 7% at hindi nakatransmit ng data. At malaman-laman din namin na sa mga ebidensya na sinabit ng mga ibang mga kandidato, na mga ibang may mga ibang petsa na hindi nagtatapat sa Mayo at Gis ng 2023. Ano ibig sabihin mo yan? Hindi natin katitiwala ang resulta ng PIMOS mula pa noong May 10, 2010. Kaya lang, kami ay parang boses sa booklet o sa Voice in the Wilderness na nagsasabi lang na mali ang Gillian kasi may euphoria ang ating lipunan na natanggal nila yung dating agresasyon at ako nila itong ginigil ng bayan na may lamang na 5 milyon. Hindi namin sinasabi na nanalo o natalo ang Pangulo ngayon. Ang sinasabi namin, hindi tama ang bilang. At kailangan suriin, kailangan imbestigahan yan. At kung sino may pananagutan sa pagkakaroon itong kawalang yan, ay dapat Oscar at ma-penalize. Kaya ang ating demokrasya ay nagsalalay sa halalan. Pag yan ay binaboy, yan sinasabi nga kanina ni Glenn, meron tayong 60-30-10 na lumabas itong 2013. Again, hindi pinatupad ng Bovelec at Smartmatic ang required minimum na meron digital signature na magagaling sa bawat PIMOS machine. At ang katumbas nito, ang isang digital signature ay katumbas ng lagda o pirma ng mismong taong na may kapangyarihan na magsasabi na itong resulto ay tama ang bilang. Kung tayo nagpasa ng mga balota sa mga makina at ilalabas na rin doon congratulations, hindi natin alam kung yung bilang na yun ay tama o mali. Kung darating tayo sa halalan nito at magkakaroon tayo ng transition group, anong klaseng result na naman ang makuha natin? Pag itong mga tinatawag namin minimum system requirements, gaya ng source code review, gaya ng mga security features doon sa mga balota, tinanggal nila yung ultraviolet light doon sa 2010. Kaya maski peke yung balota, pwede tanggapin ng makina. At ganoon din sa pag-transmission. Bakit madadaan pa sa central server? Pwede mo nang i-manipula ang mga dato sa central server. Hindi porke naka-computer ka, ang resulta nito ay tama. Kaya sinasabi namin, kung basura ang ipasok mo, basura ilalabas. Kaya sinasabi namin, hindi kami politika, hindi kami partisan ang Philippine Society. Kaya lang kami nandito ay para bigyan liwanag sa mga hindi nakakaintindi ano ang kinakailangan dito pag sinasabi natin automated election system. At sa nakikita namin, ngayon na nag-iisip ng taong bayan, maliban sa mga Facebook, sa mga Twitter, at sa mga internet, malaman nila na pati sila nahahack. Ang totoong hacker ng ating eleksyon ay hindi ang taong bayan, kundi ang Smartmatic kasi sila lang ang merong kakailan para maniobra ang laman ng datos. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Tony. Before we proceed to the question and answer, we have just 1 minute, sir, from Attorney Ed Caballo. Just 1 minute, sir.
Thank you. Good morning po sa lahat. Sa alam po ng Bangsamoro Transformation Council. Why transformation? Because it appears that this is very applicable sa amin. Kailangan namin mag-transform yung aming komunidad, ang aming mga leaders, even our leaders, have to be transformed para naman maging balansi, kakatsak kami sa mga development dito sa bahagi ng Luzon at Metro Manila areas. Masyado po tayong left behind of probably lahat ng aspeto behind po kami. So we need a transformation really. So ito pong BTC ay headed by Dr. Penziano, dito po ko, my chairman, ay yung kasama ko si Noreen nagkaroon po kami, by the way, nagkaroon po kami kahapon ng alliance with the FADER, the People's Alliance of Democracy and Reform, with the presence of Dick Penson, kahapon po sa Makati Plaza Hotel. And so, lahat po kami nag-advocate ng non-violent and peaceful movement para po mapasama tayo dito sa hinahangad natin na reform, change and reform, regime change and reform. Kasama po kami dito, so long as it is a non-violent and peaceful action, kasama po kami, and we are ready. Kahit anong oras po, maraming salamat.
Thank you, Ed Cabalo. Ngayon po, open na po yung table for question and answer.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat sa presidential table. Ed Bensola po. Brother Ed Cabalo, assalamualaikum. Ako po ay tinawagan kanina na napakaraming kasama dahil meron daw po paglulunsad ng EDSA 22 o TOS 22. Ano ho? At ang inaasahan ko, ito po ay isang uri ng press corps na mobilisasyon. Kanina po sa ilang mga tagapagsalita ay binanggit pa yung salitang revolusyon na para sa akin ho ay nagiging palasak na dahil minsan naging naman din po ako ng kalsada. On the way ho dito, ang nakamonitor po ako sa ilang radio station, talo ang pagpapatalsik o pagpaparesign kay Noynoy. Ano po? Hindi po na ako magtatanong, ako ay isang media practitioner. Sinasabi ko lang po ito para po sa inyong mga leader na kinikilala. 4 sang-ayon na mag-resign o mapatalsik si Pinoy. 14 ayaw mag-resign o mapatalsik si Pinoy. Isang batayan, mas korap daw si Pinay. Nakakatuwa. So sana itong press po ito para po sa mga namumuno, kailangan tumumpok doon sa ano ba ito? Itong 222. Huwag natin muna haluan ng ibang issue. Mobilisasyon para sa isang bagong revolusyon. Wala nang issue muna. Sasama pa ang masa sa bayan ng Pilipino? Hindi po. Dahil hindi naunawaan ang diwa na sinusulong na pagkilos ng 222. Talo sa propaganda. Sa inyo po lahat kung sino sasagot.
Salamat po. Kung sino daw sasagot.
Maraming salamat sa mga Ed Bensola. Alam niyo po, kung napanood niyo yung pelikula na Beautiful Mind, kung si Beautiful Mind po, ilagay nyo sa posisyon na dumidesisyon, nag-establish ng policy directions that will have serious national repercussions, would you allow such a character to make decisions on your behalf that will affect the country, your family, and yourself? Yan po ang unang contention natin why we are asking for the resignation of President Benigno o Juanjo Aquino III. It has become apparent that there has been too many errors, erroneous judgments, flawed decisions, among others. Nakita po natin noong welcome ang Santo Papa, Dia po, sa Malacanang. Binatikos po ang ating mga bishops. Para pong hindi yata tugma yun sa ugaling Pilipino na nagwe-welcome ng isang bisita. So, all of these are indications of a state of mind that has become a little bit off tangent. At meron po tayong mga kaibigan sa medical community from both abroad and locally that has confirmed the diagnosis of an acute psychiatric problem. Nag-iisip-isip pa po ang mga inimbitahan natin kung sila if they will go out publicly, announce publicly their medical diagnosis. Pangalawa po, yung pangalawang tanong tungkol kay Vice President Binay. Ang People's Transition Government proposes a system of a succession system that will respect, that is anchored on the Constitution, but likewise, will consider the implications of the rule of law. Sapagkat po, ang sovereign right, the sovereign will of the people is supreme over provisions of the Constitution, including the succession rule. Sinasabi po nila na si President Binay ay maraming issues regarding corruption. Ayan po ang isang nagiging malaking impediment for a more broader and wider call for President Aquino to resign. Gaya po ng nasabi ko, ang PTC will adhere, to the rule of law, to the sovereign will of the people, and anyone in the succession order will have to answer, for the new demand for a more ethical leadership. Kaya kung meron po na nasa succession rule that will not satisfy the minimum standard to assume a responsible position in national governance or in national leadership, then they will have to answer first, these minimum requirements. And if there are those who are believed to be or perceived to be, corrupt, then we should not allow it, because that is very fundamental. No, ang plunderer ho, or those who have, violated the public trust for public officials, have no sense, have no purpose for assuming such position. Thirdly, nabanggit po ng ating mga kasamahan sa COMELEC that we're not only talking of the next 16 months, yung patatapusin na lang sapagkat malapit na. Hindi po, because if we are not able to correct, the PCOS machines that are faulty, that found to be faulty, if we cannot correct or eliminate the pork barrel, the access to pork barrel funds, and the contributions that are being provided by favored business monopolies, ano pong laban ng kahit na pinakamagaling, pinakamatino na kandidato in the current electoral process? So ito po ang mga rason kung bakit kailangan natin ng isang transition government that will cleanse and level the political playing field in 2016.
Thank you, Manny. Next to ask question is Ms. Trisha Sapra.
Hi, good morning. Para po kay Sir Ed Cabal. Sir, you are joining the calls for the President to step down, am I correct, sir? And ano po kung masasabi ninyo dun sa recent incident sa Masapalo?
Sound.
Kasama po tayo sa panawagan. We are part of that urgent call for the President to step down. Now na. Sa isip ng Mama Sapalo, alam mo, medyo very unfortunate sapagkat while there was a loss of lives, but naging dahilan ito, justification ito, para hindi na rin matuloy yung BBM. So it's a dress defeat with BBM to pay dahilan sa insidente na yan. Yan yung aming panahon. Yes, of course. Hindi lang yung pagka-step down, naturally, that follows that there should be a regime system change.
Sir, ano po, bakit po hindi ninyo sinusuporta
anything that would push through or mag-work out po sa peaceful means to be able to impose law and order in the country, in the community. Support na po tayo. We supported that, but it appears that it is a failure. Failure for the verification because ang kalaban natin yan ay ang Constitution. Malinaw na malinaw po, Article 10, Section 15. There's a reiteration of the Constitution in Muslim Mindanao. And then we will change it all of a sudden with a Bangsamoro that nowhere to be found, no legal basis at all, is a product of negotiation, then kalaban mo Constitution. And so you have to change the Constitution, which is not possible right now.
Sir, ano po?
Yes. So, ito po yung ating layunin. And then, yan po yung ating isang pagpunta dito sapagkat we are part of this group. Itong pagsisikap na ito na makamit na yung tunay na kapayapaan, you can only do that through regime change, reform and change, with the president to step down now.
Sir, in case of regime change, sir, how can you be so sure na magiging well-represented ang Bangsamoro sakaling magkaroon ng change sa regime?
We have trust and confidence with our leaders here that they should take good care of the problem in Mindanao, knowing very well that Mindanao is vital to the development of this country, and we sustain and maintain one country, one Filipino, and whether a Bangsamoro or Filipino, the only way to be able to attain or achieve that this country shall become a great nation.
Sir, ano po ang mga bumubong sector sa Bangsamoro Transformation Council?
What about?
Ano po yung mga bumubong sector sa Bangsamoro Transformation Council?
Well represented po. It's a multi-sector group, professional and other groups. Sapagkat nakita na namin ang failure ng negotiation, sapagkat kaya papanggayin natin ang constitution, hindi po pwede. And so, the group is ready to assume responsibility in the event of any drastic change that will take place anytime. Yes, of course. The group, as I've said, katatapos lamang namin ng alliance kahapon with the presence of Dick Pinzon, the head of the ATIN, wherein we have also the alliance with the ATIN by Dick Pinzon.
Thank you.
And of course, it's 232 mass age movement. We are part of this right now. The majority of this ability and the majority of our objective to have a peaceful, non-violent movement, and we are part of this activity. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabahet. May ba gusto magtanong? Sasagot, photo-ops muna tayo sandali, then we resume the... Kasi palis na yung mga photo. Tawagyan mo na.
Wala ba nasa taas?
Wala kayo sa taas? Wala?
Kaya tinatanong namin kayo eh. Huwag mo sino nakataas ang
Pa konti. Chat kami.
Ayos pare. Timer, wala yun.
Ang isasagot lang po natin ay now. Regime change! No! System change! No! System change! No! Regime change! No! Regime change! No! Systems change! No!
Okay.
Mabuhay ang Pilipinas! Mabuhay ang sambayanang Pilipino!
Okay, meron bang gusto magtanong?
Kita ko ang tatangin. Ganda ko.
Relax na. Okay, attention please. Meron bang gustong magtanong? Wala na? Yun ang heart ng OS mo, the question and answer. Okay, meron bang gustong magtanong? Anybody? Okay, kung nawala yung isang bisita natin, si Ambassador. Okay. Final word. Isa po sa miyembro ng koalisyon, si Butch Valdez ng Save the Nation Movement. Kaya po natin ang maikling pananalita.
Gandang umaga po. Kami po sa Save the Nation ay inanyayahan na sumali dito sa coalition. And after understanding all the members and after seeing all of the organizations that are involved dito po sa coalition na ito, kami po ay very proudly sa Save the Nation, proudly joining hands with our fellow Filipinos in this call for regime change. At hindi po kaila dapat sa inyong mga PR practitioners at sa media na ang gobyernong ito ay hindi uupo na walang gagawin na counter-propaganda. At isa sa mga talagang itinutulak nila para maiiwas si Noynoy Aquino dito sa panawagan ng buong bayan na siya'y bumabana ay ang pananakot na si Binay ang makikinabang. That is a counter-propaganda that is coming from Malacanang itself. At huwag na tayo magtanga-tangahan pa. Ang panawagan po nitong organization na ito ay lahat sila sa gobyerno at kasama si Binay. That is the call. Regime change includes Binay. And that is why we are part of this coalition. Because there is no one, no politician There is no private interest. There is no political party that is heading this organization. This is a spontaneous reaction of the people of the Philippines. And we, the 60 or so organizations that are representing national interest, are expressing the people's sentiment. We are saying no more. Tama na. Sobra na. Enough is enough. The Mamasapano massacre is merely an exclamation point of all of the incompetence, the dishonesty, the corruption, the violations of the Constitution, all of these years by this regime. And we, together with the Filipino people, in representing this whole coalition, are calling for all of them to step down. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas.
Thank you, Mr. Okay.
Isa lang.
Okay. Nakita po natin ang statement of support ng bisita natin at bisita ng bansa natin. Is the Ambassador for Youth from France, Guillaume Donel. Nakulo po siya mag-Tagalog.
To our media and everybody, greetings from the solidarity belief of the peaceful communities of the United Nations. Mayong buntag sa inyong kanan, mayong aga, mabuting at magandang araw sa inyong lahat. In the representation of the United Nations to advocate the peace in all of the countries of the world, we abide by the rules of the constitution of each country as respected. But then, when the constitution is already sabotaged, that's where our fervor of apathy and concern for the Filipino people comes in. So much injustices of the mega traditions and culturally inculcated characters of the leaders of this country must come to an end. Yes. It's so much also that I advocate for the youth, and I sit now as the advisory council of the board for the International Youth Council, which advises the 25 million Filipino youth should I like and address the chairman to come in. Should you want also that 4 million vote that supported the latter president, the lady president, to her candidacy for putting in 4 million votes from the Muslim and the Alliance of the Indigenous Peoples Assembly, which I will sign this Tuesday, should you wish, Mr. Chairman, to come in. Those are the contributions that I have had, and from the ecclesiastical proceedings of the different religions. I commend the effort, and let's put it to words that the media is our partner, not in crime, but in the progress of this republic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador.
Samuel Sen ng PADER po, spokesman ng PADER, People's Alliance for Democracy and Reform. Ang tanong ko lang po, sakaling magkaroon tayo ng bagong regime, change na ang regime. Magkakaroon tayo ng caretaker sa national, yun po yung ating mga obispo at ibisin. Ano naman po nangyayari? Sino magiging caretaker? Mula sa governor o provincial at sa mga barangay, down to barangay. Sino po magiging caretaker naman? Magkakaroon po ba uli ng caretaker o sila pa rin? Kahit po sino pwede sumagot.
Position po natin dyan at this point is maintain the status quo on the local government units. And we will respect the scheduled elections set on 2016.
So para sa national lang po ang change?
Yes, ang ipapatupad po natin ay ang political at electoral reforms, including the Public Finance Reform Act, para po mapigilan ang paggamit ng pork barrel funds, for electoral purposes. With that, at yung political, pinaalala po sa akin, sa political reforms po, kasama dyan yung anti-dynasty provision. Sa electoral reforms naman po, number 1 dyan yung pag-scuttle ng PICOS. And isama na rin po natin na pagpigil, paglaban sa pork barrel system. Sigurado po ako, yung mga mahuhusay at dapat may halal ay mga halal because we will be leveling the political playing field. Yan po ang pinakamagandang garantiya natin para magkaroon ng makabago at makabuting liderato.
Salamat po.
Gagdag. We will respect the Constitution. Itong transition government is a temporary. Parang gamot lang to sa malala nating sakit. But we will respect the 2016 elections. So lahat ng political party dyan can do their thing. Because we will have to push to have an election. Democratic way.
Andali na. Yung mga dumating po natin mga kasama at bisita, acknowledge na po natin. Dito na dito. Teddy Brew. Si Mike Dewan. Manny Palmero. Joel Salsa po, kasamahan natin sa MAN. Art Torres Hernandez. Si Roland Lumagbas. Okay. Meron lang pong maikling benefit, no? The Lasty from San Lakas.
On behalf of San Lakas, we would like to express our solidarity with the EDSA 222-15 coalition. Our position at this time is to oust the Pinoy regime, change the system now, and to establish a government of the masses. In this regard, we likewise support the coalition's broader call for regime and systems change now and to establish a People's Transitional Government, PTG. In this regard, San Lakas believes that any transitional government, such as the PTG, that will be established in the event of the ouster of the Pinoy regime should definitely be composed of the ordinary masses representing the workers, the urban poor, the peasants, the small fishers, the vendors, the women, youth and students, the Bangsamoro and the Cordillerans, together with small business. No troubles should be allowed inside the PTG. At the same time, the PTG should be united and unified around the basis of a platform of struggle, a platform of unity that ensures radical, drastic, and transformational structural changes of our economic, social, and political system. Only when we have these conditions in place can we move forward toward a more democratic and values-based system in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Lasty. We acknowledge sa ating Melencio Pagdido na Kastamasa. Announcement lang po. Sa 22, 7 a.m., Sunday, February 22, ang karapan po natin mag-start sa corner of Ayala and Paseo de Rojas, doon sa estatwa ni Ninoy Aquino. Ang magiging ruta po natin from Ayala, going to Buendia, Quiapo, Espanya, Quezon Avenue, then EDSA. By lunchtime po, nasa EDSA na tayo for High Noon Mass. May permit na po yung ating karapan. Maraming salamat sa CCW, sila ang nag-secure dito. Okay. Then, High Noon po mo, nasa EDSA tayo lahat, napakinggan nyo na yung panawagan natin, sama-sama na tayo doon. Okay? Okay. Kung wala nang magtatanong, let's hear the final message from Manny Lopez.
Excuse me po, may tatagdag ako medyo kasi after the mass, may program po tayo doon, marami pong speakers, and then di po kami alas doon, mayroon pong vigil from 22 until the 28. Salamat po. Yung mga dadalaw po doon sa meeting, magdala po ng kandila, kailangan po namin ng kandila. So, candle lighting. Okay.
Meron pa gusto magtanong? Okay, kung wala na po, let's hear the final message from Manny Lopez.
Johnny.
Meron pa kung gusto magtanong? Okay.
Johnny.
Hindi pa po ito final because even after I speak, welcome pa po kayo kung meron pa tayong oras. Babanggitin ko lang po na at high noon, wherever you are, you can join us in spirit. Let's make noise. Let's ring the church bells. Bang your pots and pans. And raise the Philippine flag. At noontime, 2:22 At eksakto, alas 12 ng hapon. Yan po ang ating panawagan. Kahit saan po kayo, let's do something and let our voices be heard. Any more?
Yung po ang call natin, sakto alas 12, imbes na noise barrage. Lahat po ng gawain natin, hinto tayo para lang bigyan ng respeto ang ating bansa. Salamat po.
Ako nagpapasalamat at lalo na kay Ed Cabalu na napakalawak ang suporta at this proper time. Kanina kausap ko siya and we were one in concluding that may mga nagsasabi kasi na pagka against ka sa BBL, you're against the peace process. Hindi po, totoo yun. Ang kapayapaan ay nasa puso ng lahat ng Pilipino. In fact, anywhere else in the Philippines, any Muslim community can live peacefully. But why is it that in their very own environs, there seems to be the presence of war? Because peace is not the absence of war. Lagi po namin sinasabi yan. Ito pong BBL, daragdagan ko lang ang sinabi ni Mr. Cabalu. Kumpirmado na po ito na violative of the Constitution. Hindi po ito personal na opinion. Ito po ang sentensya ng Supreme Court sa MOA AD na flip side lamang ng BBL. The Comprehensive Bangsamoro Agreement, I repeat, is only the flip side of the MOA AD. In fact, the BBL truncated. Alam niyo po sa mga Muslim, importante po ang consultation process. The BBL truncated the consultation process and limited the participants only to those who were acceptable to the Americans, the Anglo-Dutch oligarchy, and Malaysia. And it compromised our Philippine claim to Sabah. May nagtanong kanina kung meron ng platform of government yung Bangsamoro Transition Council. It's still a premature question, but really our problems in Mindanao, as I already explained, hinges on a humanitarian emergency first, on an educational incapacity next, on a livelihood crisis third, and the misunderstanding of peace that can only be attained through interfaith dialogue and the basic services being given to the people of Mindanao as a whole. Even before political compromises, territorial compromises, and security compromises are discussed. Kung wala pong humanitarian emergency, wala pong mangyayari because every minute, one Muslim child dies every minute of malnutrition and waterborne diseases. Ang educational attainment po sa Mindanao, only 37% of students entering the elementary grade make the 6th grade versus 53% for Mindanao and 66% for the rest of the country. Paano po natin mapapakawalan how can they manage their own freedoms if we don't educate them? The arms is the problem, which has become their livelihood in the absence of equal opportunity and equal playing field in the economic front. And the basic intrigue of pitting Christians versus Muslims and Muslims versus Christians can only be achieved through peaceful interfaith dialogue. Yun po yung mga very basic na kailangan ng ating mga kapatid na sa Bangsamoro, with or without the peace talks. Kaya po, irrelevant na yung peace talks ngayon, transition government na po ang kailangan. Yun lamang po ang aking idadagdag dahil napaka-importante po ng analysis na yan sa inyo, lalo na sa media, when you write about kung ano, what is peace all about. Hindi pwede magkaroon ng kapayapaan kung gutom, kung mal-educated, kung walang livelihood, at kung walang sariling pananampalatayang nagkakaugnayan sa Mindanao. Salamat po.
Okay. Maraming salamat po. Gusto ko rin pong pasalamatan lahat ng ating kaibigan galing sa media at ang mga masisipag pong volunteers sa pinangungunahan ni Ms. Celeste Gutierrez, Estela Gudelcan, Mr. Lambert Tan, Ray Sabio, and JR, Tani, among others. Hindi ko na ho kayo ma-recognize na, pero maraming salamat po at magkita-kita po tayo sa linggo 2-22-15 para
yung pong kasama sa 2-22, kung pahari po may iwanan dito para patsahin natin yung ating function sa linggo. Pahari po